Hello.
There we go.
I'll be right back.
Hello, this is Annie.
Hi, Annie.
Who's that, Bob?
Yeah, I
I'm
can hear
sorry,
you, but I can't see you.
I have no internet right now.
Oh.
I don't know what's going on, but my computer isn't connecting and my phone isn't doing it either, so I thought I will just call in today.
Great.
Sounds good.
At least you're here.
Yeah, I think we're getting some rain. I'm in the north. I've moved since we all last got together, and I'm up in Park Hill. And we're
Oh,
getting some storms, some serious storms come through. So maybe a line went down. I don't know.
yeah, it looked like it was raining north of here.
Yeah, it's definitely raining where I am.
Yeah, it's raining right now for sure. Yep.
Yep.
Is it just us three or other people on?
Mike should be coming.
Okay.
Rachel's on, and then one of our new members is on. But then we got a couple more people. Keely sent an email saying that she might be a little bit late, and then
Okay.
same with Joe. Joe might be a little bit late too.
Awesome.
So I'm not the newest anymore?
You're not. You're the third newest.
Isn't that a great feeling?
Hello.
Oh, you can see me at all. Of course, I have to go like this.
I was like, we can see your outline.
Yeah, my husband has a living room, so I'm in the bedroom. Oh well.
So for everyone here, these are our two new members, Kara and Kara, right? That's how you say it.
Kara.
Kara, and then Rafaeli?
Coffee?
Yeah.
Raphael. Okay. Yeah, I'm very bad at pronouncing names apparently.
Well, it's okay.
0 for 2.
No, it's okay.
Oh, I'm
So-
Bob.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes. So Bob is our chair, and then I'm the staff liaison for the group. And then we're still missing a couple, but Bob, do you want to start or do you want to wait?
Oh, we can do the minutes and stuff.
Okay.
I didn't even see the minutes. Not that there's that much anymore.
I will say, so there is a change for the way we have to do minutes and things now. So they're kind of wanting us to do them all, or for anything that we vote on, we kind of have to do it in the council format now, where we kind of just go around and each say yes rather than doing kind of a unanimous aye kind of thing. It'll kind of probably feel silly for our group since I don't think we've ever had anything ununanimous, but yeah, we have to do it that way now.
Will, Bob, this is Shelley. Do you want to wait just a few minutes? I got more people popping on here.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I see.
Did you guys say if Mike was going to join or not?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
talked to him yesterday, and he is definitely coming unless he's had something interfere.
Guys, I'm really excited about the libraries opening up again. I saw that Englewood Library is allowing pickup. It's really exciting. I've missed the library very much.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was reopening. I've seen all the pickups, but
It's just for pickup,
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can order books online now and get them and be able to return them. And
yeah, have a
Right.
hard
That was
copy.
yeah, I have a hard time reading online, so I'm really excited about that. Denver just opened their library up as well. So
Yeah, Englewood's been doing
Yep.
it for about a month. I've actually got a couple of books out of there.
fantastic.
So,
do we have any more sitting and waiting, Shelley?
No, I do not.
texted
I'll
Mike
keep looking now.
see what the deal is, but he hasn't said anything. So I don't know.
We can get through all the kind of other small stuff. I could probably before
Yeah.
they get on now.
Yeah, let's do that. Do you have to admit everybody, Shelley?
She does.
Why don't I go ahead and take roll call?
Okay.
And then if anybody comes on, I'll add them. Keely Sugden,
Not
Bob's-
here yet.
Bob Stephenson,
Here.
Michael Chisholm, Annie Barrow,
Yes, here.
Hetty Enselman, Rachel,
Here.
Cara,
Here.
Raphael,
Here.
and Will Charles,
Here.
and Joey Anderson may join us later.
Yes.
Okay, we do have a quorum.
Yeah. And then Madeline is also here on the call too.
And Madeline.
Mhm.
Sorry, Madeline.
No, you're fine. I just had to get situated.
Where'd Madeline go?
I think he only has a certain amount that can go on there
There
at a
she
time.
is.
Oh.
Okay. I was looking in the wrong place. It all shifted on me somehow.
And it looks like Keely is joining now.
Great.
Do you want to do the approval of minutes, Bob?
Yeah,
Can I get a first and a second?
I'm Rachel. So moved. Rachel moved.
Yeah.
In a second?
Annie, do you want a second?
I'm sorry, I can't see
Oh,
the minutes.
you weren't
so-
there. You weren't
And I
there.
wasn't at the last meeting, so I apologize.
That's
I
right.
don't have the.
That's right. You can't do it.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Were you
And
there,
Will
Bob?
do it?
I'm not allowed. I can't vote on
No.
anything.
Oh, okay.
Keely can,
Um,
but Keely's muted right now.
Oh, okay.
Keely, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can. Everything's just taken forever. I don't know why.
I
Can you hear me
know.
now?
We can hear you.
Okay, that's good. I'll second the minutes.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. And we need to vote individually.
Right.
Is that right?
Yeah. Shelley, do you want to do that, or
I'm
do you
going
want?
to do that, yeah. This is
Okay.
all new for your group, so. Keely,
Oh,
Yeah.
a couple of them weren't here, Shelley. So we have to for anything that we vote on, we have to, instead of kind of just unanimously saying yes, we have to kind of individually say what our vote is. So just to be a yes or a no if you approve the minutes is all you need to do.
Even though I
Oh.
seconded them?
yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
I approved the minutes, yes.
Bob Stevenson,
Aye.
Annie,
Yes.
Hetty is not here.
I think Rachel would be the only other one that was at that meeting.
Rachel,
I approve.
and then Cara and Raphael will abstain because they just joined, so.
Yep.
Yep, okay, we're good.
Okay. Well, I don't know where Mike is. So he will be coming, I assume.
Has Hetty been replying? Because she hasn't been to a couple of meetings.
Right. I was just gonna ask. I haven't heard from her. Has anybody else?
I've not heard from her this month. I think she told me the last one that she wasn't coming to, though.
But I
I'll
didn't-
reach out to her after tonight and see what's up.
Okay. Okay. The first thing on the agenda is litter index. I think we're kind of stuck on that.
Yeah, I think there's just a couple more that I'm waiting on. So if you get a chance, do that. And
Really?
yeah,
Wow. Okay.
I've got yours,
I mean, those
so
were-
you're good.
Yeah, I mean, those
Yeah.
were due, we set a due date 2 months ago at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whoever's not doing theirs, I don't know, I'm not trying to scold, but we really need to participate in the KAB. So I think we should try and put another deadline on it and maybe drive a little accountability there.
Yeah, for sure.
Can you guys, explain us
Yeah.
what is litter index? Because I have absolutely no clue.
Yeah, I can. So kind of to take a slight step back from that. So Keep Englewood Beautiful is kind of a subsidiary or local or part of the overarching Keep America Beautiful organization.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that they require us to do each year is this litter index. And essentially it's exactly what it sounds like. It's an index of the different areas of the city and how dirty or how, well maintained they are.
Okay.
So what we end up doing each year is breaking the city down into different areas, and then each person is required to, basically walk a couple blocks and see how either clean or dirty it is, and then put it on a rating system of about 1 to 5. That's pretty much what it is.
Okay. Then okay.
Yeah.
I think it's
So
1 to 4.
in 10 months from now, be looking out for it because, yeah.
All right. Thank you.
So
Yeah.
Will,
With that, how
Spring
many
meeting.
do we have left to do? Because if they don't get done, maybe we can divide them up. It doesn't take very long and just get it
Yeah.
done. Like I'll do another one.
I believe, not to call out names, but I believe I'm waiting on Bob and Michael's too.
Mike has done one, and I think I've done one. So I've got to figure out where the breakdown is.
Okay. Well, if you have those
Okay.
done, send them to me because I think those are the two that
I think that
I'm
might
waiting
be
on.
the problem. I will.
Okay.
And I thought Mike said he had sent his in, so I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah.
I'll check with him.
Okay.
Too. Okay.
I have another question if you don't mind. What do you do
Sure.
with that index? Do you send it to like Keep America Beautiful after, or what is it used for at the end of the day?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, a lot of it is just more for kind of bookkeeping, I'll be honest. But yeah, there's a form that we have to fill out on the KAB website.
Okay.
Some organizations end up using it to kind of use it as a basis for where they direct their kind of attention for projects and stuff like that. A lot of the projects that this group does, there's more either very localized, like a park cleanup or things like that, though, or citywide, where they're like well, the next one that's probably coming up that's kind of similar to that would either be like the education class or hazardous waste event that we have in September. And we'll get to that one and both of those. So a little more explanation.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Do we want to move on to the education class stuff, Bob? You're on mute, by the way. Okay.
There we go. Basically, we haven't been using them for much. We've sent it to KAB to Keep America Beautiful, and they haven't really filled us in, but we have got a new contact now, and we are working pretty closely with Jason, right? That's his name, right? Well,
yeah, I think I explained kind of what the litter index is for.
Yeah. And so we're hoping that we can utilize it a little bit more as we understand how to do it and stuff like that. We also have some education classes coming up possibly in August, and that's why I'm glad you're here, Annie, because
Absolutely, yes.
we
want to move forward with that if at all possible, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whether it's on Zoom or we
I
might
think it should
even
be
be
on
able.
Zoom.
Yeah,
Pardon?
I think at this point it's
think
pretty.
It should
safe to assume
definitely
it's
be
the
on
online.
Zoom. Because I've already done, for my work, I do a lot of these now online as well. And, Bob and everyone else, it turns out, I mean, there's sometimes 100 people watching. And it might even be more accessible to people because it is online.
Yeah.
So what I was asking is if there is somebody available to, and I don't know if Shelley can assist, because it's through the city, would we host that through like a city email, posting that out, or how do we get people to connect to the Zoom? And is there someone that can moderate for me to manage the Zoom call, allow the people in and mute everyone? And then I'll just go ahead and do a presentation and take questions afterwards.
I'd be happy to do that for you, the moderating part.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
totally fine.
Okay. I didn't know. I know Shelley's doing all our meetings now, so I was like, she might be the expert, but yeah, that's great. And then, I don't know how would we be informing people of where to go and sign up for it or join?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I know Keely and I had collected emails from last year, and we can certainly email the Zoom link to those people.
Mm-hmm.
But we obviously would love to reach a broader audience. They've already attended one of the WaterWise courses. So, and for the new folks, Cara and Raphael, this is just a class. I work at Denver Botanic Gardens, and I joined this group last February because I was really excited about beautifying Englewood in the terms of medians and plantings and gardens and that sort of thing. And so this is a class for local folks and community to learn about how to maybe do a turf conversion to save water, or what plants are really good to use in our environment that don't use a lot of water and don't require regular irrigation. And we did one of these classes last year. So this would be the second year running that we would do this.
I have two ideas to kind of get the word out there. On the Keep America Beautiful website, and they're trying to get everyone to use that volunteer portal, you can post events. So that could be one option to kind of get people who follow, like, the Keep America Beautiful. And then is there a way that we can kind of get it posted maybe on the Englewood Facebook page as an event or something? Yeah,
we could. I'm sure either me or Madeline could probably do that one, the Facebook stuff. As far as the KAB one, has anyone played around with that at all and know how to do it?
Well, that's why I was hoping that Mike would be here, because he and I have talked both with Jason, and I've talked with Tony Arnoldi in communications, and this could be a really exciting development, because Tony is looking for something that she can contact volunteers, track volunteer hours, and communicate with them. So we are trying to put all of that together right now to broaden that sphere so that she can just kind of broadcast to all her volunteers and get responses. And that's exactly what this software the portal is supposed to do. So she's really excited about it. And if we can utilize it for the education class, then we can reach out even more. And it's starting to come together. So I'm hoping that within the next week or two, we can do that. And I will also get in contact with the Chamber of Commerce and see if we can utilize their emails and stuff.
Yeah, so I'm more meant with that question, like actually putting it on that KAB thing. Rachel, have you messed around with that at all?
Yeah, so I actually got a login. I met with, what's his name, Jason, about the same time I did, and he sent me a login so I can see if we're able to add our own events, and if not, then I can follow up with Jason and get it added.
Great.
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
And then,
And then Will,
said-
like when you're
okay.
moderating, you'd be able to, I think, collect data on how many people. I don't know if you can get their emails or whatever, but we might be able to start building that marketing list.
yeah,
You know.
Well,
yeah.
that's
I know for sure it tells you how many people are in the call at the bare minimum.
yeah.
I know I've hosted events through Zoom at the beginning of the pandemic, and we just had all participants fill out like a basic Google document, and then you had all of their information that you could build on. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Do you think we could get a copy of that document?
I'm actually
And
thinking,
then-
I know I work on the communications team in the neighborhood, so I'm actually thinking about putting together a newsletter so we could put this in the newsletter. And I mean, on the communications, they can get it out on Facebook,
Great,
Nextdoor, all
great.
of those things. So
And everybody
Um,
knows this is happening on,
August
we have
5th.
it, we have it scheduled on August 5th at, I believe it's at 6 p.m. I have it at 5:30 because I have to get on early, but from 6 to 7. So
Do you guys
August
have like
5th,
a blurb that's
Wednesday,
like
I'm sorry.
like a blurb that's like a description. So if we ask like KAB to post it on their website, so they're like an accurate description. You don't want me to like make it up, I promise.
Yeah. I think we had one for last year, and it's really, I mean, it's very generic, but similar. And so let me dig that up. Either Keely and I think I sent something to Keely or Jennifer even about it. So who am I speaking with?
This is Rachel.
Okay, Rachel, I'll just send I'll send an email to the KEB team, and I assume that you're on that, and then you'll be able to get it. Is that okay?
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. So we're scheduled for August 5th from 6 to 7, and we want to, since it's July 14th now, we're going to be getting it out here as fast as we can, correct?
Yeah.
And anything. I will talk to Tony. I will talk to Tony, and she can maybe put it on the Nextdoor site.
I think Madeline could do that too.
Or Madeline, can you do that? Great. Great.
Yeah, so that way I'll send the lecture description to everyone, and then everybody can promote it.
Yep.
I'll
Exactly.
include a cool looking photo, so it'll maybe make it a little more exciting, of a water-wise garden. That always helps. Pictures tell 1,000 words.
Right.
Okay, great.
Great. Okay. So I think that covers that as much as we need to. And then the next thing coming up will be the hazardous waste recycling and electronics in September. Will, do you have any idea? Have we gotten any kind of go ahead or parameters or anything like that?
Yeah. So for kind of the new members, so this is probably I'd probably say it's our biggest event of the year. So it's Household Hazardous Waste Roundup, or HHW is what you'll probably hear it referred to as. And essentially what it is people can bring their unused or unwanted household chemicals, so anything from mercury to pesticides to anything like that, to dispose of for a small fee. And then we'll recycle it for them. And then we also do the same thing with electronics as well, all at the same event. So, I mean, everything seems like it's okay to go ahead at the moment. I mean, it's a pretty low contact event anyways.
Right.
So as far as parameters, I haven't really discussed that with anybody yet. I figure I'd probably wait until it gets a little bit closer. Because that's going to be kind of week of, or a couple weeks out kind of thing. But as far as bids go, those all came in this week. So I'm looking through those now. So this year we did it a little bit different, where we split it up into 2 different bids. So one for chemicals and then one for electronics, to hopefully cut down on the cost a little bit. And also it kind of allows it to where what it seems to happen each year is we'll get 2 or 3 kind of more local groups that do one or the other, but can't do both. So it kind of gives them more of a chance as well. So I haven't had a chance to really look into those, but we have 3 for each. So
Great. So we've got a little competition this year, right?
A little bit. Yep.
Good. That's excellent. Now the other question that I had, and this might be just more for you, Will, but do we want to utilize some volunteers if we have the portal up and functioning, and we, could we do some, open up some blocks and say, this is available for a 2-hour block or 3-hour block or something.
Yeah.
And, it's not a real high contact deal. So I think it would work.
Yeah, I mean, so I kind of wanted to talk about that with the proposal that Michael sent out. For our new members, I don't know if you guys got it. I can send it out after this, but to kind of fill you in, we applied for a $10,000 grant from KAB, so the national organization. And basically the parameters are expand an event that you're already doing and have at least 20 volunteers are kind of the main 2 things that we have to do. So, I mean, I think we could include some volunteers pretty easily. One of the things that Michael put on this that really kind of concerns me is this education presentation portion of it. I just really I don't know how that would work. I mean, if someone could explain it to me, I'd be happy to listen, but for me, it seems like, one, that would be keeping cars there on an active service center site. I mean, because it still functions on Saturdays. And then 2, I think it's just like, if we do things where we're adding kind of where people can continue in a line through the place and they don't really have to stop, I think all of those could be really great ideas. So if we wanted to add in like I think we talked about giving people plants or giving people, some sort of handout or things like that, I think that's a really great add-on. But I think anything where they have to stay there, I just don't know how that would happen or work.
I agree with you completely on that.
Yeah, and especially for this year, I don't see any way that we could do that, And if just for example, I went by just to talk to the staff at Malley the other day, and they don't even think they're going to have any rooms open except for the workout room and the computers, and that's what they're utilizing now. So I can't see holding people up or giving people an opportunity to, outside of some handouts and stuff, I don't see any kind of personal contact. The less contact we have, the better.
Okay.
So I think I'm in agreement with you on that.
Okay. Perfect.
So I don't think we need a motion or anything like that. This was just something that he was thinking about or trying to throw out, and there might be some way to tie it in, and in a more open year, or, you know, if things are a little bit more normal, but not at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we also want to talk about kind of what we want to do with this if we do get this? From what Jason has said, it almost seems like it's a done deal, but I don't really know. But do we want to talk about what we want to do with the 10,000 if we do get it?
I would like to use it to encourage people to bring their stuff if they can't afford it, like for underserved people to get rid of old electronics and things. I think that would be a great, and that would maybe, it can help us reach new audiences and get people aware.
Mhm.
And so reaching out to different communities and offering that, I think that would be a great way to spend the money. Plus it gets it out of the landfill. Because I really think we want to concentrate on getting different people aware of this. And especially, I just think our demographics are kind of older, and it's people who've been coming for years, and we don't see that many new people. So maybe also some messaging around it.
Yeah.
To make people aware of it. So those are that's where I'd like to see
Promotion.
some of the money spent.
Promotions and things like that are an ideal utilization, I would say. The other thing that we need to do is maybe facilitate the budget somehow or something like that, but I don't think that that's necessary unless this year, but maybe we could incorporate it into the budget too. Does that make sense, Will?
Kinda. I mean, so I think we have to use, I think the point is to use it on the event, you know? I really like the idea of using it for, for people that otherwise can't afford it, or just to, I mean, even if it's just to convince more people to come, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. I mean, 10,000, I don't know if we want to spend all of it, all in that one bucket, but I mean, 10,000 probably covers 70 or 80% of the copays we usually take each year.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
the other idea would be, I mean, as far as like shirts and things like that go, you know, I mean, we haven't.
Yeah, I'm not big into getting more swag. I mean, I think it kind of defeats the purpose of.
Well, I just mean for, you know, right now, I mean, probably half the group doesn't have any of the previous round of things that we had ordered, you know? So I was thinking more so, not so much giving it out to like people that are coming to the event, but more using this as an opportunity to make more of those for future events, you know?
And for volunteers.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, if we did like a, you know, like 100 shirts or something like that, or 50 shirts, you know?
Can I say something? Sorry.
Well, I was just wondering if we might want to think about like a hat or something instead too, because a lot of times like for the fall, it doesn't matter what shirt you have on, right? You're going to have
it's cold.
for the fall.
True.
So we might want something that we could have like, maybe we should get masks.
Yeah. There's an idea.
What about a sign, like a banner through like Vista Print that's only $60 or something? Like for every event that we hold, I don't know if we have anything like that, but I think it'd be more effective than a t-shirt to have, if we have a tent set up, or if we're doing the leaf recycling and we can use the fence to tie up, keep Englewood beautiful. I mean, I've made these before for other things. It's $60. I mean, personally, I never really want to wear a t-shirt that's mass made and has a weird, you know, like, that's not, I just don't think that's really, like,
we do have a banner.
So I think we should be using that. And I love Kelly's idea of reaching the underserved communities and saying, hey, here's a voucher. You know, what do you, you know, if you can't afford, here's, you know, come to the whatever center and get yourself a voucher, or however you want to do it. But I think that's a really good use, because I think Keely's right. Like, a lot of the people have done it before, and new audiences would be great.
Yeah, if we
I
could.
have, oh, sorry. I have another
Yeah.
idea before it was 10,000. I mean, it's got to be, you know, calculated and everything, but I would either focus more on like the recycling, but the first, like the basic one, which is like cardbox and plastics, because some buildings don't even have bins for it because, you know, they don't want to put it. So before doing electronics and stuff, like, I would actually work on that basic recycling thing that is still not happening in some places of Englewood.
Yeah.
And the
Just
other
on
idea-
that point though is we've been trying to do that for a long time, and you got to get those buildings. They have to then pay for the service. It's really difficult to get people on board with that. We've been trying to do it now. Just even getting it for the block party has not been easy. So
Yeah.
great idea. And I think if we got a chunk of money, maybe we could pick like one of the senior places or something and just push it at one place and, you know, get it started. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent idea, Raphael. If we set some funds aside to start, if we have that, then we can start actually pushing and promote. Instead of just trying to promote it, we can actually have some leverage and help support it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I feel like if you started like first somewhere, you know, where the owner doesn't want to pay for it, but you get the community that lives in the building on board with it, then they will ask the owner eventually to keep it in place. And, you know, you just help the movement to start, kind of.
And, you know, and I was really into pushing for that, especially at these senior centers, because they had it.
Yeah.
And they ran into problems like with people. It was so disgusting.
Yeah.
Like they were putting their adult diapers in there.
I know you do. You
know, so we'd have to do a lot of follow up and stuff. But I think it's great. I think if we pick one and really like try to support it, because I know a lot of those seniors were taking it across to Mally, and because it wasn't there, you know, so they're trucking it across the street. So, you know, people want to do it. So maybe we can try to find a way to make it more viable and talk that building into doing it again.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the one good thing
is, so sad how hard it was.
One good thing is with these, I mean, that I know we're probably not as really involved with it anymore, but there is a board that was formed for the whole kind of single trash hauler conversation. And I wouldn't doubt if that comes up as part of that whole conversation too, is recycling as a side part of that. So yeah, I mean, it's probably something that's going to get addressed in a different direction.
And it probably also needs, you know, like you have those educational classes for gardening and watering, all this. It's great, but I think maybe we should do some like education classes about recycling, get people actually educating about what is it important to do it, because I mean it's very, very insane to me that we're still not there in USA in 2020. I just can't get my mind around it.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, we've been on this.
Somebody who was going to come in who is kind of an expert and talk to us, but you know, everything has gotten so, because I think if we can tap into somebody, and that might be another place to spend money, is even just, you know, getting some experts to help us think of things we can do that with concrete steps that are workable.
Or maybe lobbying to try to get laws to be passed that actually force owners to have recycling, which is another idea.
Yeah.
Well, for our community, you know, for the buildings, that's a whole different thing, because they don't have to be part of the single trash hauler. But if the city can pass that, then we might want to do something with education.
Yeah.
You know, when if we get that through about how to recycle and what to be out in those bins and everything like that. I think that'd be a great time for us to step in and do that.
Yeah.
I don't know when that's going to happen now, if it's a high priority or not.
I mean, they set up an entire board for it. So, I mean,
It's moving forward.
So, I mean, I would say, yeah, it's definitely a priority. I mean, it's going to move at the pace of government, but I think it's definitely something that's well within the radar.
Okay.
As I see it, then we have two ideas to get vouchers for the hazardous waste and electronics, and to set aside some money to actually, I won't even say promote, but to leverage recycling and to promote more education and stuff on that. Because you're exactly right. What's happened is that outside of, the residential recycling, there is not a whole bunch of emphasis anymore on it. And it's getting to be ridiculous. And especially here in Denver, part of the problem is we still have pretty good landfills that aren't full yet. So there's not a big push on a lot of things. So anyway, I agree with that. Maybe by next month we will know where we stand with that, and we can set some dollar amounts or actually do some budgeting or something with that.
Here's another thought with that, is to have somewhere where community members can take the recycling. I don't know how many times I've seen something on Nextdoor that says, where can we take recycling? And everybody's like, well, you got to go to one of the Denver places or something. And maybe that's somewhere where we could spend money, is support something with the city to have a little recycling center, at least propose it and pay for it.
Yeah.
Because, anybody in an apartment building, most of them don't do recycling and they don't have anywhere to take their stuff.
Not anymore.
I think that's a great idea. I think that's fantastic. Kaylee, you're like brainstorming like awesome today. I do think it costs more than $10,000 to do that year round.
Yeah.
But I mean, if there's a way that we could contribute to that, because there is a board already, that maybe that's something that we could work with the new group that's focused on that, to dedicate some money to that, if they'd be open.
Yeah.
What do you think, Will?
Yeah, I mean, I need to see what that like when that board meets. I mean, I know Amy was kind of heading it before, but obviously she's not on council anymore. So I don't really know who's the liaison for that, but maybe we can get them in and see if there's anything that they have ideas for it. Because I think at the end of the day, if there's any influence from this group, it's going to be more like support base, or, like maybe members of this, if it comes up as far as like, council presentations and things like that, maybe someone saying, hey, we're fully in support of this direction on that kind of thing, or making sure that recycling is a big part of any choice they make, like that kind of thing.
Okay.
More so than any sort of funding goes.
Okay.
But that would just be my impression. But I can I can check tomorrow and make sure and see who the liaison is for that group.
And like you said, the funding is, grant funding is typically, there's a number of parameters that you have to meet to get the grant, and a lot of that time it's like you have to get the grant and spend the money within X amount of time. So maybe this year round, or the first one we spend on our events, like the vouchers, like Keely was saying,
right?
Maybe some T-shirts for just the staff, or hats, or however you want to, just minimal amount, and then just beef up our marketing and or events, make them just more attractive to people. And then, you know, hopefully we can keep applying for the grant year after year, and we'll be able to have larger ideas to apply the money to as we grow.
One of the parameters of the grant is hosting an event that has a minimum of 20 volunteers. And I'm pretty sure Mike followed up, and that could be held over a couple of days. Are we going to meet that requirement with this plan?
So I think, so my thought for one is, so right now we usually have about 3 or 4 people there as a morning shift, 3 or 4 people there as an evening shift, and then, you know, repeat for the next weekend. So, I mean, right now we're probably around 15, 16-ish. And I think that could easily be expanded to 20. My other thought would be, you know, I know we haven't done it the previous couple of years, but we could also have, you know, 1 or 2 people if they wanted to, helping out with like lifting the electronics out of the cars and things like that. That could be the other option. I know I had to do it a couple of years back just because out of necessity, because we didn't have enough workers there. But I mean, they could lift like the smaller stuff, you know, like we'll leave the TVs and things like that for the guys we're paying to do it. But we could have, you know, some of us or some volunteers lifting like the, you know, microwaves and cell phones and things like that out of the car.
Well, and if we're giving away plants or something,
yeah,
you know, we'll need people for that.
I'm sorry to say that I just don't think giving away plants is a good idea. As a horticulturist and designer, there's a lot of complications. You have, I mean,
I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to close all my windows because it's storming outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. The size, the species, what time are they planting it? What are they going to plant it in? There's like too many factors that's going to fail. I mean, unless you're just giving out petunias, which aren't even water-wise. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't really feel like that's like the best way to promote plants in the landscape. But I think the other part, like when we talk about events like the leaf recycling, which kind of has to do with plants, that would be a cool place to kind of grow, because we had at least 5 people per shift, and that's, you know, 2 weekends. So we would definitely have 20 people. And so that might be, and that's in the fall.
That'd be before October 1st. So the event has to take place between June 1st and October 1st.
Yeah. So actually, I mean, that's the thing about the parameters is like, yeah, I don't know all those details, but I don't know. I would just caution you to really think hard about if you want to give out plants and where you're getting them. What's the point of that, and what's your strategy there?
Yeah,
I'm not trying to say, but I don't know. I just feel like it might be hard. It might be a lower success rate than you think.
The other thing around that is that, you know, it doesn't tie in as well. 2 things. Actually, with all that's been happening, my impression of, and I have not ever talked directly to Jason, but that they are pretty flexible. If we had something the end of October and November, which is the leaf recycling is, we might be able to tie that in. The problem would be is what kind of plants would be available then. And, you know, it's kind of like, too, giving out free ducks at Easter or something, you know. It's not that great of an idea if you're just because a lot of people don't even know how to utilize what you're giving out. So
Right.
Well,
I mean, if anything, you wanted to do a plant, like it'd be cool to do a xeric demonstration garden at like City Hall and have education for people. Like that could be a $10,000 project in and of itself.
right.
But I don't think, the only thing is, I don't really think that goes with Keep America Beautiful's goals, because they're more you know, we offer that because we're in a very dry environment, and that matters here. But their broader goal would be litter and you know, cleanup.
You're looking more towards recycling or something then?
Yeah.
So maybe we do then just stick to, you know, I'm using the large majority of this to fund people's copays, and then the rest of it for promotion based stuff.
Maybe this will be our blowout year for going all out to get new people and, you know, make it free for a lot of people. Rachel, is it, does this have to be like tied to one event? The use
I
of
don't
volunteers?
think so.
I think based on what Michael said in his conversations with Jason, it doesn't have to be, and they're a big driver. So like one of the requirements is that the event does have to be posted on their volunteer portal. So if we do that between June and October 1st, I think we're golden.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this will be September 12th and 19th, so we should do well within that.
Requirement, and I think that's pretty much it. We have to submit a report, it looks like, a wrap-up report to get. So you get 8,000, and then once you submit the wrap-up report, you get the last 2,000.
Yep.
Cool. So just while we're sorry, you saying something, Annie?
I just thought that it's exciting that we might be getting a grant or that's on the table right now. I think that's an awesome find.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and on that same vein, not to be a Debbie Downer, but for the one that Hetty applied for, I did get an email back from them finally about a week ago that we did not get the cigarette butt one. So they said they had a lot of applications this year. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
So since Mike's not here, do we volunteer him to do the wrap-up report?
Sounds good to me.
That'll get people coming to meetings.
Mm-hmm. So move.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Joe Anderson has joined us. He is our city council liaison, and he's not just some Joe Blow from anywhere coming in. So I just wanted to make sure you all knew who he was.
Thanks, Bob, and sorry I'm late, everybody.
You bet. No problem. We're just glad to have you. We're looking at the electronic and hazardous waste primarily, and then Annie, who is just here by phone, we're looking at doing water-wise education class August 5th on Zoom, and we will be promoting that just to catch you up a little bit about what we've been going through. So
do we want to real quick talk about so not for the people that obviously we're using this 10 grand for, but for all the other people, do we want to talk about how much we want to charge for the copays? So I think
we should stick with what we did last year because it was the first year and have a little consistency.
The only one that I kind of would like to change is the TV one. I think we maybe made it a little too high last year.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of people had some heartburn about that one.
Yeah.
was that $20 last year?
I believe so. I believe it was $20 per TV.
Per TV.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know if maybe we want to make it like $10 per TV. So
Could
20 for chemicals, 20 for electronics, and then 10 for each TV.
I wouldn't mind a 10, except I know at least one person has talked to me about having a pretty big, old TV or something. So maybe with a caveat of,
If it's a tube, it's more. It's tube TV.
Yeah,
right?
I think the way it goes, we just got to have one price for TVs.
Yeah, I think so And the very first year I did it, we had an insane amount of tube TVs, and that's
Right.
why the price was so expensive. And then the last 2 years, it seems like it's been the opposite, where they're. I mean, I don't want to say they're all gone, but like
Yeah.
it seems like a large majority of them just kind of stopped being delivered to our event. So
They don't sell them anymore, do they?
I
No.
believe so.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's a finite amount of them, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, so if 20 people come in with a 100-pound TV that we have to eat the cost for, I mean, I don't think it's that big of a deal, assuming we, are getting, money from all the other things too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if we have a voucher for some, then that could help us too.
Mm-hmm.
on-
Yeah,
on
like I said, I
those
think we
things.
usually get about 12 to 14,000 in co-pays each year. So,
Yeah.
if we use 8 or 9 grand of that for these vouchers, that would cover, 60, 70% of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Do I hear a motion that we have a $10 across the board for TVs then?
I approve of that. I like that.
Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second that. This is Annie.
Okay. Now, do we need to go around again and
We do. You did this to
individually?
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I can do this one. Bob, do you?
I say aye.
Rachel?
Hi.
Raphael?
Yes.
I'm gonna take that as an aye. I heard part of it. Do you vote in favor?
Yes.
Okay. Keely?
Yes.
Kara?
Yes.
Okay. And then Annie?
Yes.
Would you believe it? It was unanimous. Who would have thought?
Oh my God.
Did you get Madeline?
Madeline doesn't get to vote. She's like me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
And
right.
Joe. Yeah, none of us get votes.
That's right. Okay. Are there any other things that we need to discuss?
Well, one thing I've been kicking around, since we can't do a lot, is I've been thinking that it might be nice to develop a resource guide. Like I was saying, there's nowhere to recycle. And maybe just have people come up with some ideas of resources for the community that are environmental, like water-wise gardening resources and recycling resources, and just kind of develop some kind of, so that we can be kind of a go-to place to have that kind of information. And, this is just beginning, but I think that I've been meaning to, we've talked about this before, and it might be a good time since we can't do cleanups, we can't do a lot of other things, and it might be a good time to kind of develop that, and then we could have some online resources for people to go to. And I'm really up for, any suggestions about what to include, and I think it can be something that's, changing and developing over time and including new things. And so that's something I would like to see maybe us look at if anybody else is interested in that, because I don't want to do it all myself. But if people want to pick one thing to get, check out some resources, make sure they're valid. And I think maybe next meeting we could talk about what areas we might want to find resources for. So that's just an idea that I was thinking about with us unable to do a lot of our normal stuff.
So yeah, Keely, I agree that I think that should be definitely available online. I'm not sure exactly where it's housed, but I'm new to the nonprofit world. I've been working at Denver Botanic Gardens just over 2 years, and one of the things that I would just caution people, if we are going to develop resources, is that it needs to be, we need to think about, not pointing to specific businesses. It just needs to be informational sources, and we need to make sure that we have, like, I don't know if clearance is the right word, but just be aware of what you're pointing pointing people to. Like, for example, a lot of people will ask me where to get their landscape installed, or who to go for, who to work with, or who to call. And that's just not something that the gardens could ever, tell you. So we point to institutions that are nonprofits and say, go to the American Association of Landscape Contractors in Colorado, and you will find a list of people that are valid in Colorado. So it's sort of like a vague resource. So I think we just need to, I love it. I think I'd love to do water-wise portion, obviously, but we'll just need to be careful, like, just think about what are the rules there, and how do we make sure we're doing it in a way that's like politically correct, I guess.
Yeah, and there's plenty of things that we can do around that. Now, when it comes to recycling, there may be some things. I'm thinking of one that's called sustainability, and I think it's a nonprofit, but it's just like what's opening here on South Broadway where the Bob was, Brewability, where they use special needs people and employ them. So that's something that I think we could promote. And, but Keely, you're just blowing me away. You've got all these ideas. So yeah, I think there's something that we can do with that, and maybe Madeline can help us with Tony and everything. We could really get this, and especially if the goal is still to have single purveyor, I don't know if they'll be able to do it in January like they originally were thinking before all of this happened. But if we could piggyback on that and promote that, then that would be just amazing. And that would really, really utilize, that would be a big feather in KAB's hat too, if we could get them out. So this is just fantastic.
Well, so I have a proposal. Maybe before next meeting, we could all, if anybody, we could all submit ideas about what you might want to do. And like I said, this can change over time. We can add, subtract.
Yeah.
And, discuss what we want to do before we put the work into doing it. And then we can figure out how to format it and, all that.
I do a lot of graphic design stuff. I don't know anything about subject matter. So I'll leave that all to you guys, but I'll offer up that if you guys want help with formatting and making it pretty.
Great, Rachel.
There is, it's horribly outdated, but there is kind of a similar thing like this that was probably done a decade ago on the website right now. I know some of those are still okay. So I don't know if that's something you guys, while you're thinking about it, if you want to, I can give you a starting point or a jumping off point.
Foundation, exactly.
Yeah.
So
it's really out of date because I have seen that, and that's what made me think that we need something. I mean, that shouldn't even be up because it's so out of date. We really need something.
Okay.
A little bit more valid, but I'm up to anything, because the other thing I'm thinking of is energy efficiency and stuff, and maybe with our holiday lighting coming up, we could look for just energy efficient lighting ideas. What kind, I don't know, just to give people some ideas, because I think we can still do that event, since I guess we could drive around separately if we have to look at that.
Let's all just hope December brings, the end of this whole thing, even though it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. This is fantastic. We will meet, let's see, what's the third or the second Tuesday in August?
The 11th.
The 11th.
Right after the water-wise, the 11th.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And so I'd like to touch base with, I guess, Will maybe, since you and I will be sort of like host, co-host,
Yeah.
let's just touch base like, the day before just to check in.
Okay.
And yeah, and then we'll be good to go on the 5th. And I hope everybody on this call will join us.
Yes, definitely.
I'll be there.
I will.
Yes.
Also, guys, if you need help for like the handout and graphic design, so I'm a graphic designer too, so I've done like websites and like logos and stuff like this, so I can help with that too.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
Oh, yes, actually that reminds me, if you, Will or Madeline or Joe or someone from the city, if you wanted to provide a logo, whether it be in Photoshop or just high resolution, that I can add to the intro if you'd like me to market and co-brand. I'm going to be using CBG, stuff.
I sent you one last week, Annie. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can forward it to you again though if you need be.
No. I've been crazy and I had to have my computer replaced at work. So.
No worries. Well, if you don't see it, let me know and I'll send it to you.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Okay. We will be in touch around August 5th then, and our next meeting will be August 11th, and I don't know what happened to Mike, so.
So are we feeling good about how we're going to get the word out for the class?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I feel weird because I can't really do much this time. But
well,
it's the real world.
Keely or Annie, y'all said y'all had that list. Do you want me to send?
Yeah.
Do you want me to send them out something on that?
Yeah, it's got to come from the city.
Okay.
I have
just
sent
forward
it
it to me?
before. I'll see if I can find it again.
Okay. Yeah, because if it's older than 3 months, it's been deleted out of my email and I no longer have it. So.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll get you guys the description in the next few days with a photo and that sort of thing. So we should have everything able to send out maybe by week's end or at least the beginning of next week. So.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Madeline, do you need to do anything, or can you coordinate with Will on that?
Yes,
For
Will and
the
I will work
education?
together to make sure
Okay.
communications gets what they need to get it out.
Great.
Wonderful. I know
That's
usually
all.
we put up posters and stuff, but I don't even think that's a good idea this year.
No, I don't
Yeah.
think so either. I don't think it's.
Yeah.
I don't think it's much doable.
No.
Thank you much, everybody. I will entertain a motion to adjourn unless somebody has something else.
I second. And do we all have to vote on that too?
No.
I'm gonna go with no.
No.
I call this meeting adjourned at 6:41.
Right. And hey,
Thank you much.
we're so glad to have new people. Looking forward to meeting
Great
you in
to have
person.
you. Yes.
It was good to be there.
Welcome, Carla. Welcome, Raphael.
Yeah. Thanks.
Good to have you, Annie. Thanks a lot. Cara.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Have a good night.
See y'all.
Bye, y'all.
It's over the phone.